Oh, lockdown. Something that's become a part of our everyday existence. Whilst we may be getting used to it, you may not be familiar with all the new rules and laws you need to abide by to avoid getting thrown in your local joint. From illegal Tinder dates to demolished businesses, here's some ridiculous ways you can get arrested during lockdown. The coronavirus pandemic has been a pain in everybody's ass, from people like you and I to businesses and countries. Everybody's been affected. But what's even more annoying is the fact that everyone has to stay cooped up in their houses while the pandemic passes. Ugh.
No! No! Hell no! No!
With the lockdown comes dozens of restrictions, which means some of the normal things you used to do are now considered illegal. Taking a look at all these restrictions, we found some of the most absolutely ridiculous things from all over the world that could get you thrown in a prison cell during this lockdown. We hope orange is your color, because you could be one step away from ending up in the slammer. It's illegal to sell open-toed shoes and short-sleeved shirts? What? Why on earth would anyone make selling open-toed shoes illegal? So you're saying that if I'm a shop owner and I sell open-toed shoes and short-sleeved shirts, I could get arrested? Well, in South Africa, yeah. The reasoning behind this law? The country was heading into its winter, and considering these are summer items, they were deemed as non-essential. Although this directive has recently been under fire for its sheer ridiculousness, the government still insists that shops should sell only closed-toed shoes and long-sleeve shirts. If you must sell your short-sleeve shirts, they must be displayed under a jacket or a jersey. Buying and wearing any of these items is also a crime, so you might want to leave your sandals and tank tops at home. Apparently, it's illegal to look good? Governments all over the world have decided that we don't deserve to look good during this lockdown, so salons have been shut down too. You know what this means? Women can't get their nails and hair done, guys can't get their swag on with slick haircuts, even guys with beards and mustaches have been advised to cut or reduce them, just because of the pandemic. Basically, everyone has to walk around looking like cavemen and cavewomen until this whole thing blows over. We're sorry, but whatever hairstyle or nails you had on before the lockdown started, you're probably gonna be stuck with it till the end. And people wonder why the cases of divorce have risen considerably all over the world. Well, true colors are now being revealed. To show how serious this law is, a hair salon owner in Dallas, Texas was jailed for a week after she stayed open despite coronavirus restrictions. Sharing nudes is also illegal? Wait, hasn't this always been illegal? What's even more ridiculous is the fact that it took an entire pandemic for some states like New York and countries like the UK to finally realize that sharing explicit photos of individuals without their consent was a crime. Well, better late than never, right? This offense is now punishable by up to 5 years in prison and even more in other countries. But seriously, lockdown or not, you probably don't want to indulge in this. Just don't do it. Trust me, you don't want to end up like the 50-year-old man who was arrested for sharing explicit pictures of his mother on WhatsApp with the aim of blackmail. Ew. Squats no more. With every other business closed down during this period, the gym is no exception. So if you had a bit of weight you wanted to shed before the lockdown, forever till the end, baby. At least now you have a legitimate excuse to not hit the gym. And staying home doesn't really help you watch your weight because there's literally nothing else to do except eat and be lazy, both of which do nothing to help you lose weight or maintain. Although there are some awesome home workout ideas, none are as effective as actually going to the gym and sweating it out. It's better to just gain some weight in the comfort of your home than lose weight doing hard labor behind bars, don't you think? A New Jersey gym owner didn't seem to like this new law, so he went ahead and kept doing his workouts in the gym. Well, your guess is as good as mine. He was arrested for violating the lockdown law. Let's go shopping! Oh, wait. You would agree that one of the surest ways to improve your mood is through a little retail therapy. Now that the pandemic has happened and shops are closed, yikes. For large parts of the lockdown in many countries, it's a crime to leave your house, especially to go shopping for non-essential stuff. And having it delivered to your home is not an option in many places, as that is also illegal. It's now as though the government doesn't want you to buy nice things or appease your better half. Imagine being stuck in the house with a partner that's angry at you. Now, those are some shoes I'd really like to not be in.
I'm not shopping at this store.
What better way to escape the stresses of lockdown than with a harmless road trip?
You coming? What else am I gonna do? Stay here and learn?
Wait, we can't do that either? The highlight of my day during lockdown? A drive to the store to stock up on groceries and the like, just to escape the confines of the house, feel the fresh air flowing through my mask, It's like therapy for the soul. Plus, no traffic. That is, until I discovered it's illegal to leave your house if not for essential reasons. So much for that joyride down the coast. If, however, you do have a reasonable excuse for driving around during a nationwide lockdown, you shouldn't be caught with more than one other person in your car. This is equally a serious crime in some places. An Indian man was arrested for joyriding with his friends in his brand new Audi after having no valid excuse for doing so. Come on, fellas, at least have a story lined up in case the popos pull you over. We can't even go for a midnight stroll? Most countries and states imposed various curfews on its citizens and residents, making movement at night illegal. The most common were 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. curfews, which means you'd be home before the sun even set and you can only come out, well, after the sun's risen. Authorities claim this is supposed to curb the spread of the virus. Well, let's hope the virus acknowledges these terms and infect only those who disobey the curfew. If the authorities get to you before the virus does, you're looking at a hefty fine and probably community service with a not-so-spotless criminal record. A whopping 6,000 people were arrested between March and April by Rajasthan police for breaking curfew. We can't rally and protest? Well, you just watch us. As much as you'd like your voice to be heard about so many things, the government has made rallies and protests illegal, at least for the lockdown period. Imagine going to protest about something or holding a rally and getting arrested for it. Both you and your followers. Yikes. So for now, you might want to keep your awesome rally ideas to yourself until this whole thing blows over. You wouldn't want to be making your voice heard from the back of a police cruiser in cuffs. But seriously, who would want to hold a rally during a pandemic? Well, apparently half of America. Between all the protests for racial equality, an Idaho mom was found protesting against the stay-at-home order during lockdown. And of course, her voice was heard, only it was from the back of a police car. She's not the first and won't be the last to be up in arms over the enforcement of lockdown. Just when you thought you'd take up gambling. Gambling became popular in Italy as far back as the days of the Roman Empire, where Roman legionnaires bet a myriad of things on their games. Since then, gambling has become a very popular activity indulged in, mainly by the rich, due to very high stakes. Why gamble if you don't have tons of money? Over time, gambling and betting have become legal, but with the announcement of a lockdown, gambling and betting have now become an illegal activity, especially in Italy. But that does nothing to stop Italian men from sneaking out into betting shops that are open illegally to place their bets and hopefully win some extra money. It's said that gambling is a game of luck, but just don't try this though. You might not be as lucky as they are.
It's not gambling if you absolutely know you're going to win.
Imagine losing your freedom and you end up having to roll dice with some hardened criminals. Now that's a lose-lose situation. Well, let's tell that to the 16 gamblers who were arrested in Bengaluru for breaking both lockdown laws and gambling laws. Wow.
You're kidding me!
Put the Speedo away. If you're a lover of the water, I'm sorry, but you're stuck on dry land for a pretty long time because swimming is illegal in many places. Well, except if you have a swimming pool in your house or you consider soaking in your tiny bathtub swimming. Government directives state that spas, swimming pools, beach resorts, and the rest be closed down to prevent unnecessary gathering, which means any of these that are still operating are doing so illegally. And if you decide to take a dip, technically, you're a criminal at large. If you're caught in the act, you can kiss your perfect criminal record goodbye. The authorities did not hesitate to arrest a British tourist who was caught swimming in a hotel pool in Tenerife, Spain. I guess we'll just have to take our pina coladas to the bath. Running dry. Most people turn to alcohol to help them forget their sorrows. Not that we're encouraging this or anything, but it has seemed pretty effective for some people. Now, with this lockdown and all the challenges and worries it presents, one might need a few shots of some strong stuff to clear their head. But unfortunately, one of the challenges the lockdown brings is restriction on the sale of alcohol. While malls and grocery stores are allowed to stay open so that people can get essential stuff, the alcohol sections are to remain closed in many countries, and private business owners are not allowed to open in some states. Bars and pubs are also closed in most countries, which means there may be absolutely no way of getting any alcohol legally. The reason for the ban? Data shows a significant amount of hospital submissions are a result of alcohol-related incidents, meaning there may be less capacity to treat sick patients when alcohol consumption is on the rise. Kinda makes sense. An incident in South Africa saw 2 warrant policemen caught selling alcohol in the black market after a total ban on sales nationwide. Who would think that a policeman would be found on the wrong side of the law? Probably most of us. Wait, I can't even move apartments? Before this pandemic, life went on as usual. People got new stuff, cars, shoes, bags, apartments, houses, and while these items belonged to them, they were restricted from testing them out due to the lockdown. Restriction of movement and forced shutdown of companies makes it difficult to move into a new apartment because the roads are closed and the moving companies are unavailable. This forces new apartment owners to stay in old, crappy apartments they probably hate by now while their rent wastes away. This has got to be the most annoying point on our list today because real estate companies would come for their rent once the old one expires, pandemic or not. In New Zealand, some tenants tried moving into a new apartment, but they were discovered by the police. Luckily for them, the police only gave them a warning. We hope they heed that warning or this story won't be a pleasant one for them. Tinder is in trouble. Just recently, the United Kingdom passed a law that prevents individuals from different households from having sexual relations in the same house. This means if you're caught cuddling with the neighbor in your house, you can be arrested for breaking the law. So if somehow a girl finds her way around the restriction of movement and goes to her boyfriend's house having any relations of any sort with him, it's considered a crime. Am I the only one that's kind of turned on by that? No? Just me? Oh, still in the United Kingdom, such relations between siblings is considered illegal, but that hasn't stopped many, with there having been a sharp increase in the number of reports of such behavior. I mean, there's boredom, and then there's incest? So, sexual relations are reserved only for couples living together, which brings us to the restriction on couples. Couples that live apart are mandated to continue staying apart until the lockdown is over. Even with the relaxation of restrictions, couples are not allowed to travel to see each other no matter how short the distance is. The South African groom and bride didn't seem to agree with this law. Lovebirds couldn't wait to tie the knot. They went ahead and organized a 50-member wedding party. This wedding took place in KwaZulu-Natal. The couples were arrested, including the 50 guests and the pastor that conducted the ceremony. You think this is ridiculous? Wait till you see our most ridiculous crime during this lockdown. But before we go on, do you think any of these restrictions have actually helped curb the spread of the virus? Let us know in the comments below. Businesses are being demolished. Literally. Businesses around the world have been devastated by the pandemic, but in Nigeria, they've taken things up a notch. When 2 hotels breached lockdown rules, the local governor decided to make an example of them by demolishing their businesses. Poof! Gone! Despite rumors of corruption and bribery, the government stands by their decision, which has seemed to get the message across. Hey, at least these business owners have a legitimate excuse not to pay the rent. And that is all for today. Let us know if you enjoyed this video and tell us the most ridiculous one on our list. Are there any other ridiculous rules or laws that we missed? Tell us in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more outrageous content. You don't want to miss any of our posts? Turn on the post notifications by hitting the little bell in the corner. Until next time, stay safe and legal.